What's up? I love the GFX. I did a couple hours of shooting today with the GFX, a lot the other day. Let's talk about something really briefly. I can be brief, believe it or not, that the Fujifilm is poised to do. Fujifilm's actually ready to sweep the floor on medium format. I almost bought a Mamiya Leaf, excuse me, not a Credo, but a Leaf about 3 years ago. Well, actually, maybe 3.5 years ago. Thank God I didn't. I mean, the camera has, by the way, the exact same sensor as this one has. The Pentax Z, which has a reflex mirror, has the exact same sensor as this one has. This one actually has a superior micro lens designed to both. Both of those cameras are obnoxiously expensive. The lenses for them are extraordinarily obnoxiously expensive. The GFX lenses are not only far cheaper, they're far superior manufacture. The X1D, by the way, they can't give away. In Europe right now, the X1D camera is half off. A guy, I don't know if it was in Denmark or Germany, sent me that. It's $2,500 off currently. United States. They can't give the camera away because it's got several nasty design flaws. Fuji's announced their, I think it was like 3 months ago, Fujifilm announced that despite the fact that, of course, it's a really inexpensive camera for medium format, but collectively it's an expensive camera at $6,500. Fujifilm announced that they've had enormous amounts of GFX sales, despite the fact that it's a rather expensive camera. By the end of 2019, here's a fact, Fujifilm will have 3 different types of medium format camera, and not Canon, not Nikon, not Sony will have a single damn one. Fujifilm will have 3. Nikon, Nikon, Canon, and Sony will have zip. We have the current GFX. The next one will be the rangefinder, digital rangefinder. I don't know if they're going to call it the GFR or the GFXR. I have no idea which one they're going to call it. It's going to be relatively inexpensive in price, between $3,800 to $4,200, somewhere around that range. And then at the end of 2018 or the beginning of 2019, they're going to announce the second generation of GFX, which I've already seen the sensor, and I posted a link somewhere here on my Flickr page. It has a model designation. It's a 100 megapixel 100 megapixel sensor, which is currently being used in phase 1. I have the designation here. It's like, I should have brought this up before I actually posted this, I believe, huh? It's just like, I'm going to scroll through these images and find it, but I can't find it. It's somewhere there. I did post an image up. Anyway, the model designation is pretty irrelevant, but it's already out there, and it's going in the next version of the GFX 50S, and therefore it'll be called the GFX 100S. To be logically certain, that's obviously to be the case, so that's really interesting. All these people, too, that are always chirping about, full frame, when's Fuji going to go full frame? Which, there's no reason at all why they should go full frame. It's an oversaturated market where Sony and Canon and Nikon are killing each other. They could just circumvent all 3 of those retarded idiots. Did I say retarded? All 3 of those idiots, and just expand their medium format line. Not only is the GFX already incredibly expensive and far, far superior in manufacture than the Mamiya, which is radically discounted because of the GFX, and radically cheaper than the Pentax, and far, far better made. That camera's older than dirt, and talk about nailing the focus on that as a reflex mirror like a DSLR. Not only is the GFX currently way cheaper, but the rangefinder version, which is going to have the same sensor as this, is going to be a lot cheaper than the GFX. So just think about that. It's going to be a rangefinder medium format 51 megapixel camera that'll take the exact same lenses as the current GFX, and I have all of those lenses. And it's not going to be really much more expensive than a Nikon D850. Someone's going to say, for the price of a Nikon D850, I could get myself a medium format camera with the super gigantic sensor in it. One thing people too actually forget is that when it comes to sensor size, when the sensor isn't, they say, well, it's not, like a super huge medium format sensor. The actual sensor size is not additive. It's like, well, it's 2.25 times bigger a full frame than a crop sensor. Yeah, but it's a multiplicative of difference and change. It's not additive when it comes to sensor size. It becomes a multiplicative for different attributes that it actually possesses. People actually download, like these are some recent images taken with the new 45mm. And by the way, I had a lot of people say, you are full of crap, this image could not have been straight out of camera. And I said, what are you talking about? This image, there's several of the images like this image could not have been straight out of camera. It's just too sharp and the color is just like bam, popping me in the eyeballs. Like, no, that's straight out of camera. That was using the 45mm f2.8, which is a 35mm equivalent for field of view on the GFX. A very small, lightweight, diminutive lens, especially for medium format. These are all straight out of camera images from that particular lens, by the way. Anyway, that's the news in the Fujifilm front. They're going to have 3 medium format cameras by the end of 2019, whereas Sony and Nikon and Canon will have nothing. And then tell me how much, I keep hearing this crap all the time. Full frame, where's Fujifilm's full frame? It's like, where is, another talking puppet that says, where the hell is Sony, Nikon, and Canon's medium format? That's what I need. I need a puppet. I'm going to call it the medium format puppet. And all he's going to do is, the puppet's going to be on a permanent repeat cycle. I just say it once in the record, and it's like, where's Sony and Nikon and Canon's medium format camera at? I got those small full frame, those small full frame sensor cameras. Yeah. Nikon, Canon, Sony. Stick that in your codpiece and smoke it. This coffee tastes burnt. Oh, wait a minute, Starbucks. All Starbucks coffee tastes burnt. Why am I drinking Starbucks coffee? Because it was free. Yeah. Thank you. Fuji.